Welcome everyone to week 12 of the league. Got some new stuff here for you guys today. But first, a lot of shit happened last week. I thought I was going to be good on all my predictions, but a lot of upsets. The Bunny Bangers won over the Finesse. The Tiger Sharks won over the Heaters in the rivalry game of the week. The Quail Men continue their hot streak, and they beat the Smeagol's. And the Dumpster Fire, again, pull it out. So, with that win, the SC Titans Elite have not only taken over the West, they have now clinched for the playoffs. And since the Bunny Bangers won, they are not eliminated yet. They have a 1.52% chance to make the playoffs, the Bunny Bangers. So they have to win out, plus a whole bunch of other shit needs to happen for them to even make the playoffs. They can still win their division. That's actually the only way that they can get in. They can't get in any other seed. They have to win the Central. So, again, they have to win out. But it's not looking good for the Bunny Bangers, but they're still in it. The Voyagers have a 98% chance to make it. All I got to do is win one game. All I got to do is win one of the next 3 games, and I'm in the playoffs 100%. I can still take the West, but I have to win. I have to beat the Wise Guys. I got to beat Tebow, and then I need the Finesse to beat the Titans Elite, and then I need Tebow to win against the Finesse and the Titans Elite the next 2 weeks for us all to finish at 9-5. So probably not going to happen. But all I got to do is win and I'm in. The Smeagol's have an 88% chance to make the playoffs. They're looking pretty solid. Basically, they're almost in win and you're in territory, depending on what else happens around the East. But they're pretty good. But after that, after the Titans Elite, Finesse, Voyagers, and Smeagol's, it's under 50% for everybody. So it's going to be a crapshoot for the Central and for that last spot. The Room Dogs do not have it locked up, and there may even be two. There are some scenarios. I've done the playoff machine little workings, and there is a scenario where 2 teams from the Central make it, and only 1 from the East. And there's a scenario where I don't make it. If I lose out, if I lose out, there's a chance. It's a very small chance, but that I could miss the playoffs as well. So there's a lot could be had, a lot to be done, but it's looking like it's going to be 3 from the West, 2 from the East, and 1 from the Central, just kind of like what we thought at the beginning of the season. But yeah, this is your current playoff picture. The Quail Men have overtaken in the Central. But again, the Quail Men have a 48% chance to make the playoffs, and they're at the top of the division. So that's how close it is in the Central. But let's get into the power rankings. Coming in at number 12, you guys know, the Washington Wise Guys. They're out of the playoffs. They lost last week to the Dumpster Fire by 2 points, less than 2 points. Again, and this one may have been the one that hurt the most, which is saying something. He was already out of the playoffs. And then Kadarius Toney got a tackle and a forced fumble, apparently. And he got the win by like half a point. But then NFL said, nah, we don't want the Wise Guys to win. And they took that shit away on a stat correction. And, and the Wise Guys lose. It's not their year. It is just not their year. Coming in at number 11, we got the Wisconsin Bunny Bangers. Again, they did get a win last week over the Finesse. They beat the Finesse. Finesse are having quarterback starting issues. They don't know who to start. Cam, Mahomes, who the fuck? Russell Wilson, who are you going to start? You can't run 3 quarterbacks. This ain't a Superflex league, E-man. The fuck you going to do? But Bunny Bangers scored over 100 and got the win. That's what they need to do. Finesse only put up 96. Best team in the league. Lost to him. Sorry, beat him. Whatever. So yeah, Bunny Bangers are still in it, but they're still not looking good. But it's not over yet. Coming in at number 10, dropping down, we got the Long Island Moondogs. Yeah, they're in a playoff spot, but man, this team is looking rough. They have a 39% chance to make the playoffs, but that doesn't really take into account, injuries. This team is just holding on by a thread. And if Mandy somehow fucking can pull her team together and make the playoffs, holy shit. I wouldn't be scared of the team in the playoffs, but someone's going to be pissed off. But this team, it's on the downslope. They're just too injured right now. But the champ, she's the champ for a reason. We'll see what she can do to coach up these last 3 games of the season. Coming in at number 9, we got the Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks. Coming off a big win last week over heated rival Hickory Grove Heaters. They beat the crap out of them by about 35 points. So 45, 35, whatever. Big win for the Tiger Sharks. Tiger Sharks currently have a 23% chance to make the playoffs. They have a better chance of, again, they basically kind of need to win the Central. That's their best chance. Anything else, a lot of other shit has to happen. So basically any team in the Central, they got to win it to get in it. Basically. Coming in at number 8, dropping down a few spots, the aforementioned Hickory Grove Heaters. Heaters are looking rough lately. Ever since Nate called out the Heaters, I think it was week 4? Ever since Nate called out the Heaters and said they would start going down, they've gone down. They've lost, fucking 6 of their last 8 games or something like that. So they're not looking too hot. They have a 45% chance to make the playoffs. Their best shot is to get into that last seed in the East. But we'll see if Matt can pull his team up off the mat and get it done. Coming in at number 7, we got the Columbia Dumpster Fire. This team, I don't know what to make of this team. They have a 27% chance to make the playoffs. Again, their best chance is to get that 6th seed, but they're still they actually have a better chance of getting the number 2 seed, basically the top in the East. They have a better chance of doing that than the Room Dogs do. So it's very interesting. So the Dumpster Fire have a pretty good shot at getting in the playoffs, but right now they're on the outside looking in. That's why they're at number 7. Coming in at number 6, we got the Trenton Trolls. The Trolls have a 28% chance to make the playoffs, and the only way they do it, is if they win the Central. If they don't win the Central, they're out. Just based on math and all that kind of shit. It's weird. The Sharks can get in other ways, and the Quailmen can get in other ways. But the Trolls have to win the Central, or they're not going to the playoffs this year. So, again, they're at number 6, though. Still strong. This team has shown that they can score a lot of points, but they just lost to Joe. So again, they kind of need to win out to make, to do it. Basically, every team in the Central controls their own destiny except for the Bunny Bangers. Bunny Bangers need to win out with a lot of help. The rest of you guys, if you win out, you're most likely gonna go. So we'll see what happens in the Central. Very, very interesting. Speaking of the Central, we got the French Quarter Quailmen coming in at number 5, going way up from last week. I think I had them at 9, 8 last week. Going way up to number 5. Got a huge win over the Smeagol's by 23 points. And this team won 3 straight. Young squad taking over the Central. This team is starting to gel a little bit. And if Kyle Pitts can start to do what he was doing earlier in the season, I guess if the Falcons can stop sucking ass, then this team might be pretty scary going into the playoffs if they get in. Right now, they have a 48% chance. They have the best chance of any Central team, obviously, because they're at the top. They could even get the 2 seed. They can get the 6 seed, but their best chance is that 3 seed top of the Central. Coming in at number 4, and basically it's the top 4 teams, and again, like I said, everybody else. But coming in at number 4, top of the East, you got the Philadelphia Smeagol's, right? They have an 88% chance to make the playoffs, most likely at the 2 seed, but also a very good chance to just squeak in at that 6th seed. So if they don't win, they still have a 16% chance to take that last playoff spot if they falter here at the end of the season, and only putting up 100. It's not looking good. East is a tight race. East and Central, man, woo, it's going to get crazy. Coming in at number 3, dropping down a few spots, we got the LA Finesse. Again, they're already in the playoffs, so maybe he's just working out some things, right? But he's still fighting for that number 1 seed. So the Finesse have a 42% chance to get the 1 seed. The Titans Elite have a 54% chance to get the 1 seed. So those two guys are still fighting over that bye, which is going to be huge because both of these teams have shown that they can't put up points on a weekly basis. Joe put up 135, Finesse put up 96. And then every week it kind of feels like it just flip-flops, right? So that bye week will be crucial for whoever wins the West because maybe that could be their down week. You know what I mean? Coming in at number 2, you got the Vietnam Voyagers. Yeah, I'm above the Finesse. And I'm not in the playoffs yet, but power rankings wise, I'm scoring more points. My team's finally coming together. I'm not getting, dominated on the other side of the ball. So all I got to do is beat Tebow this week, and I'm in the playoffs. And, again, some other things could happen where, I don't make the playoffs, or if I have a 3% chance to get the number 1 seed. Otherwise, I have a very, very, very good chance to get the 5 seed, which is most likely going to happen. But coming in at number 1, top of the league, we got the SC Titans Elite. Joe looking strong right now. Again, already in the playoffs. Again, they have a 55% chance to win the 1 seed, 37 for the 4 seed, 8% chance for the 5 seed. So they're not going to get that low seed. Not like it really matters because when the playoffs start, I'm going to have the 2 West teams and the 2 East teams or whatever playing each other. They're not gonna crisscross, right? So the Voyagers aren't going to play the Heaters in the first round of the playoffs, all right? It'll be whoever, the 2 teams from the West that don't have a bye, they're going to go head-to-head the first week of the playoffs. And the top of the Central versus the 6th seed in the East, assuming that happens, they will play each other, okay? So that's how we're going to do the playoff bracket. But let's get into the matchups. And I did something a little different this week, guys. I kind of hope you like it. It's a little weird, but there's a new AI software out that does artwork based on keywords and shit. And I spent a few hours, using different keywords from everyone's team and colors and logos and mascots and everything like that to come up with just some interesting new, I guess you would say logos, but maybe scenarios or like a setting or even just pictures of your team. But enough of me talking. Let's get into it. Matchup number 1, worst game of the week. We got the Trenton Trolls at 4-7, flying up to play the also 4-7 Wisconsin Bunny Bangers. And again, big matchup for both teams. Bunny Bangers lose, they're out. Trolls lose, they're gonna be hurting bad. So huge game for both teams. Basically, from everyone here on out is almost a must win if you're not in those top 4 spots. So this is gonna be a big game. We'll see if the Trolls can get out a win here. Let me take a look at what's already happened this week for this game. The Trolls, come on, phone. Holy shit. Trolls already scored 54 on Thanksgiving. They got 25 out of Prescott, 14 out of Pollard, and they got 11 out of Hunky Son and 3.5 out of Trevon Diggs, which Diggs is kind of he's after the bye, he hasn't really done that much. So he was flash in the pan for 6 weeks kind of guy, but hey, those first 6 weeks were great for him, 7 weeks, whatever it was. And the Bunny Bangers only got 7, but they got that out of their kicker, so it's not too bad. But right now, it looks like the Trolls should take this one and boot the Bunny Bangers out of the playoffs. Matchup number 2. We got the Washington Wise Guys going to outer space to play the 6-5 Vietnam Voyagers. Voyagers win, they're in. They lose, still got a good chance to get in the playoffs. Again, Wise Guys are out. So, so far, the Voyagers have scored 19.5 points. They got 15 out of Mooney and only 4.5 out of Waller, who went down with an injury during that Raiders game. So not really looking too hot there, but it still says that the Voyagers should take this one. It's the Wise Guys, so I mean, shit, I should win. But hey, I'll probably only win by 10 because it's fucking Tebow. Matchup number 3. We got the 5-6 Columbia Dumpster Fire flying on up to play the 6-5 Long Island Moondogs. Big game here for both teams. The Dumpster Fire look like they're going to win. They've already put up almost 50 points with Josh Allen, Cole Beasley, and Schultz. Schultz had a great game. 14 points at the tight end spot, 26 out of Josh Allen at quarterback. So he's looking solid right now. Mandy's not going down without a fight, though. Williams had 10. And she only got 2.5 out of her safety. So she may have defensive back bench warmer of the week, depending on what Harrison Smith does this week. So we'll see what happens there. But big game. Mandy's got to keep control. But Dumpster Fire have to win it to get back in it. So we'll see what happens here. Matchup number 4. We got the 8-3 LA Finesse playing the 9-2 Titans Elite. Some would say this is the game of the week. Look at the records. Already in the playoffs, but it's kind of like an exhibition, but they're fighting for that number 1 spot. And this is a big game. The Finesse have already put up 30, while the Titans Elite have only put up just under 10. As of now, the Finesse should win. But again, you can never trust Sleeper and their rankings. The Finesse got 18 out of Josh Jacobs, which is fantastic. And Joe, again, only 1.5 out of Swift before he went down, 5.5 out of Emmanuel Sanders, and 3 from Roquan Smith. It's not looking too hot. So his big hitter Smith, he usually comes through in the clutch. Didn't have a good game. I think he went out with an injury during that game. But Titans Elite need to win to keep control of the West. If the Titans Elite win, the Voyagers cannot take the West. So I'm personally rooting for the Finesse to win this game. But I'm bipartial. So. Oh, that's cold. Rivalry game of the week, boys. Got bad blood here. You got the 5-6 Hickory Grove Heaters playing the 7-4 top of the East Philadelphia Smeagol's. Big game here. If the Smeagol's win, they basically locked up the East, assuming they don't lose another one. All they got to do is win 2, I think, and they've won and they've locked up the East. If the Heaters win, they're right back in it. They're right back in this race, especially what happens to the Roon Dogs. If the Roon Dogs lose and the Heaters win, they flop. They flippity flop. Heaters will take it. And again, if you guys are wondering about these photos, again, I had to use a lot of keywords and shit. Matt's, I did yours in 1 try. Every time is different, but I did yours in 1 try. I was pretty proud of it. But big game here in the East. We'll see what happens between these two brothers. Bad blood on Thanksgiving weekend. Woo! Let's get into the game of the week. You got the 5-6 Tampa Bay Tiger Sharks taking on the 5-6 French Quarter Quailmen. And this is a battle for the Central. But, I mean, as of now, it looks like the Quailmen should run away with this one. They got 18 out of Diggs, 18 out of Renfro. 2 players getting you 35.5 points. And it's looking like now the Quailmen should win by 30. Rico got 8.5 out of Parsons at linebacker spot, so not bad. He's had some better weeks. Rico's team's looking banged up with some bad matchups. So it looks like the Quailmen could increase that lead on the Central. And Dan, yours was the hardest to fucking find, because Quailman is not a keyword that works for this type of AI software. But yeah, I hope you guys like the new photos, and gave you guys some theme songs. We'll have some different ones next week for whoever's at home. Home theme songs from now on. We'll see how that goes. But let's get into the predictions. Woo! I went 3-3 last week. Fuck. So we're now 30-36 at 46% on the year. Next week, since we have run through everybody has done a pick so far, next week is a surprise pick'em. I won't tell you guys. I'll just let it happen. Hunter's got this week's picks. He took the Trolls over the Bunny Bangers. He took the Voyagers over the Wise Guys in a rivalry game. He took the Dumpster Fire over the Rune Dogs. He took the Titans Elite over the Finesse, I can't speak, over in a rivalry game. He got the Smeagol's over the Heaters in the rivalry game of the week. And he's got the Quailmen over the Tiger Sharks. So if we look at Sleeper right now, yes. Dumpster Fire, where you at? I can't find you. Yes. Titans Elite? No. Smeagol's and Heater, that's gonna be a close game actually. I didn't get into that one on the matchup. Right now, the Smeagol's and Heaters, that could be game of the week as well. That's what he said. He said rivalry game and game of the week, and it is. It's neck and neck. And the Quailmen over the Sharks, yes. So right now it's looking like Hunter could go 4-2, maybe 5-1, maybe 6-0, depending on what happens with the Elite, the Titans Elite game. But let's get on to golf, guys. Woo! Got a new sheriff in town. Back on top, me. I shot a, what the fuck did I shoot? I shot a quad birdie last week to move up to 16 under par. E-Man shot a bogey to move him down to 12 under. So again, there's 3 weeks left in golf, guys. It's only regular season. 3 weeks left, and it's looking like a race between me, E-Man, Matt, P-Man, and maybe Graydon, if he can just blow up the last few weeks. Graydon's 12 strokes down with 3 weeks to go. So again, anything can happen. But it's looking like a 4-horse race. 4 horsemen, whatever. Race in there. Other notables. Rico shot a triple bogey. Good job, Rico. You're now tied with Tebow at the bottom of the shit list. And that's basically it, guys. Good luck, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. I didn't say it last week because, well, it was before Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving. Hope you had a good holiday. Had some good turkey and shit. And Tebow, yes, personal foul on Tebow for tripping. Number 15. Drunk as hell. Good luck, guys.